Hey, welcome to this episode of the Live Lake Martin Show. We are on the boat with Captain David Hare of Alex City Guide Service. Will we catch a fish today? I've got my fishing license and we're ready to go.
Good to have you here today, Paige. We've already been out here this morning and already lost one good trophy fish, had one break off and had a couple more steal our bait. So hopefully before the morning's over, we'll get some over in the boat with us.
Stay tuned and see. It is always a treat to meet Trey Callaghan, but to step inside his office in Birmingham is a delight. Tell us about this.
I'm glad you feel that way because a lot of people around here, being an LSU fan, as you can kind of see here, the wall, it's a blast because people come in here, sometimes especially Alabama fans a little bit because their coach is holding up a crystal ball with LSU players on my wall. So I get a lot of comments on that, but it's a blast. So yes, please do visit. Love to show you my wall of fame.
So I bet you hear a lot of myths about financing inside these four walls.
Once we get over the whole LSU thing,
Yes.
then we talk about, and really it's the big three, I call them. How long is this going to take? What is the appraisal process on a lake house? And then how much down and what's my payment going to be? You know, those are kind of the big three. And so the time frame is really the same. You know, with a primary residence and a lake house, it's really about the same. There may be a few days extra because they need to go down there and be there when the home inspector's there, but it's really the same process. The appraisal, we have local appraisers that know the area, which is fantastic. Key. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't realize it, but it is huge. A lot of the big conglomerates out there will just take the lowest bidder, but we take the most qualified. So the people that know the area is who we want to use for our appraisals. And then the third part, 10% down. 10% down. We can run payments. That's what we do here in my office over the phone. Actually, about 90% of the time, we just kind of play with numbers and go over that. So it's a lot easier once we have a 10, 15-minute phone call or talk than people think.
We're at Smith Marina in Parker Creek and we
love Lake Martin.
I'm originally from Sylacauga, and but this is the only place that Mother and Daddy ever carried us. Daddy thought driving to Lake Martin was like a long trip, and they loved Lake Martin. And so this is where we came every weekend. And I learned how to ski behind a 12-foot flat-bottom boat with a 10-horsepower motor from Wind Creek. And so we started out camping, and then my parents, they finally rented what I call one of the Russell fish camps. They paid $35 a month for, so we thought we were in hog heaven. One bedroom, one den, a kitchen, a screened-in porch. The shower was a hose pipe nailed to a pine tree. The bathroom was an outhouse, and there was 6 of us, and 6 of us stayed there. And then I bought a house in 1990, and then I moved down here full time. So when people say, yeah, I traveled all over the world, I said, well, I traveled from Sylacauga to Lake Martin my whole life.
4 or 5 years since we'd done anything together. We'd been knowing each other for years. And I said, that's got to be the same David Hare we used to do horses with. As soon as I called it and got his voicemail, it said, this is Captain David Hare. I said, no doubt.
This is fish we're seeing right there. That don't mean they got their mouth open, but you see that You see that wave on top right there? See, that is a fish pushing that bait up on top, and the baits can't outrun the fish, so they come to the top trying to get away from them. So that's actually a fish up under him pushing him to the top. He's not hitting on him, he just, you know, it was chasing him. He didn't come up and hit him. Real. Hold the rod tip up. Oh, that's a good fish. Good fish.
He come off.
Gosh, dang it.
I think he broke. We had it straight up and he broke. He was a big one too.
I know he was. He went straight down.
Can't blame it on the fish.
If you'd do like your wife, you'd get that fish in. Won't have no excuses.
Now, how was I supposed to get it in when he breaks the line?
Well, Connie could have got it in. Yeah. Connie don't come up with excuses. She just reels the fish
I
up.
hear you.
She's one of my trophy clients. I think it was November or December. She caught the biggest bass that Elliott City Guide Services ever caught. It wasn't a striper, but it was a largemouth bass. It weighed 9.72 pounds, which is a huge fish for Lake Martin. And so she has that hanging on her wall now at home. And
yeah, all of his are in his office and mine's in the den.
we're out here this morning trying to get her a great big trophy striper. And we are targeting nothing but big trophy fish. Her husband had one break off first thing this morning. Her husband's Larry Mann. He fishes with me 3 to 4 times a month. They just get out and enjoy Lake Martin. If we catch a fish, that's great. If we don't, they love being on the water, love being out on the lake, and catching the fish, just icing on the cake.
I'm Harvey Baker, and I just love Lake Martin.
Hey, I'm Bill Ken Abreu, and I am Homes by Indianwood, Inc. I'm out of Birmingham originally and have been down here on the lake a few years building. Primarily, my whole life, I have taken a lot with a blank piece of paper and designed a house for couples and families to live in. I just hope that I might be somebody you'd consider if you just have that type of need in your life. So call me at 205-369-4541 or email me at billkenabreu@me.com. And I love Lake Martin.
This happened last year, and it was during the season we were doing night trips, and I had this salesman call one day about 4 o'clock, and he said, "Hey, I want to book a trip." I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "When are you looking at?" And let me look at my calendar. He said, "In about 2 hours." I said, "Do what?" He said, "Yeah." So I've got several guides that fish for me. I was already booked that night, but anyway, we were able to get him on a trip in 2 hours. And I said, "How did you know about Lake Martin?" I can't remember where it's from, but it was from way off, and it was a traveling salesman or something. And he said, "I was coming through Montgomery, and I happened to see Lake Martin, you know, on the map or something." And he said, I want to ride over there." And he said, "I crossed over Kalijah Bridge, and when I saw the water, I said, I've got to fish that." And he went fishing that night. It is some of the most interesting stories out here, you know. And I've taken some real sad stories. It wasn't sad to them, it was sad to me. I've taken a lot of people's on their bucket list, you know, that's critical, you know. We filmed a show. We just filmed it ourselves, and they actually played that show at the guy's funeral. It was his last fishing trip, and all he'd ever wanted to do was catch some big stripers out of Lake Martin, and we had a awesome trip that night. It was sad to me, but it wasn't sad to him. He had a blast, you know. But so we have some trips like that, and I love people, and I love Lake Martin. I love to fish, so it all just came together. People say, "Well, I don't guess that's a job, is it?" And I mean, it's work. I mean, you go home tired. You want everybody to catch fish, so it gets mentally challenging. Well, my happy is waking up on Lake Martin every morning. I mean, I have a TV sitting right outside the door. I sit right there and watch the weather, watch the sun come up, watch the sun go down. That's where my wife finds me all the time. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to trade my real estate license to become a professional fisher after this morning, but what I did learn is Lake Martin is fortunate enough to have Captain David Hare, one of the best tour guides in the entire Southeast, if not the nation. Give him a call, get down here and catch some fish.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth with Lakeside Mercantile, and I love Lake Martin.
Hi, my name is Chase Pearson. I'm a bartender at the Landing at Parker Creek. Today I'm going to demonstrate one of our most popular drinks. It's Bushwhacker. One of the keys to my job is making a good drink in a short amount of time. Our most popular drink is the Bushwhacker, and we use Island Oasis drink machine that makes one in about 7 seconds. And I'm going to do a demonstration on that for y'all. So first we go with the Bacardi. Add our Kahlua and our Baileys. Pour in some ice cream mix. And our chocolate syrup. All right, now the machine does the rest. I just hit the go button. Now pour it up, and it's ready to serve. We have the 151 floater. Cherry and whipped cream at request.
Thank you, Chase.
You're welcome.
That looks awesome.
And that's how we make our Bushwhacker.
Well, it's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Love Lake Martin Show. If there's a boat that you bought that you want to show off or a house that you want to see, this is your one-stop shop. Check it out, PaigePatterson.com, and always like Love Lake Martin on Facebook.